Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
In the previous episode, we invited Paul onto our podcast and we discussed about why don't we just be ourselves. And in this episode, we shall continue the discussion with Paul, but this time on the people around us and how to find our people. Please enjoy.
But yeah, I'm interested in one thing, because like right now, are you still like frequently traveling around the world, especially now that I think COVID is quite a minor thing?
Yeah, we've been living semi-nomadically for. We haven't really had like a home base, though we are moving back to the U.S. in October, and we'll be there for probably the next couple of years. But yeah, we're in Lisbon now. We've lived in Mexico, Taiwan, Spain, different locations, and yeah, I mean it's a huge benefit of like working for yourself. I still don't make what I did in my previous path, but I have a lot more freedom, right? So in years, I could make a fifth of what I used to make, but have 200 days off a year, right? And live wherever I want to live. But yeah, every path has costs, and it's like figuring out. I think the biggest benefit of living like this is like I learned to experience so many different living situations, and you start to see what you actually value. What I really value is like a place that encourages me to walk. So like the environment that's warm, walkable, and two is like a community of friends that like want to hang out often, right? Okay. And I couldn't really find that like in some of the US cities I was living, where most people are orienting around work, right? It's like, hey, let's hang out in like 2 months when this project cools down. It's like, okay, the value choice there is that work is more important than life, right? So it's my decision to figure out, okay, do I need to make new friends? Do I need to live in a new place? And that's kind of what I keep trying to figure out.
Interesting. Okay. That is very true. I would say that when you say that part, or you when you ask people to hang out, it's like 2 months later, something like that. I guess I'm still stuck in that. like right now, I was still.
Depends what you value.
Yeah. I guess at this moment in my life, I guess because especially I have this. The greatest uncertainty I have right now is because I came from Malaysia. I right now in the UK I'm still I'm still dependent on the visa that UK provides. So in order to be able to stay here, I need to make sure that I have a proper visa. So I guess that's insecurity, and then I need to get a job, need to keep myself fed, because like earning like 1 month's salary in Malaysia definitely can't. I think you can only like live for like 10 days in the UK because of the difference of currency. I guess that's the problem with living in third world countries, and then like going into a first world country. That's like the biggest gap. But
yeah,
I love what you've done, and actually
the food is so much better in Malaysia.
Have you actually went to Malaysia?
I've been to Kuala Lumpur for 3 days. But yeah, I think the real third world countries are the Western countries with terrible food, like England and the US.
I have to agree with that. Yeah, I have to agree with that. The food here is quite bland. Yeah, not many options. And then I don't they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to flavor food. That's the thing. I can cook better than most of them right in my kitchen. That's why I'm happy that because previously I lived in a catered accommodation where we don't have the option to cook. So now I moved out. I'm living off campus with a few of my friends. I finally have a kitchen to cook. It's cool, being able to be in control of whatever you eat, even though I don't consider myself a great cook, but still, I like my food more.
Yeah, you rarely cook in Malaysia.
Yeah, I almost never. Yeah, but yeah, what was I saying? We were saying about third world country and all this. But yes, like one thing which I do have a I'm still more of a planning guy as of now. One thing I do plan
and
to
that's
work on.
fine, right? I think like when you're young, the paths are easier to manage, right? The paths are more obvious. Like it's very practical if you have a computer science degree to try and get in a big company with like training and development. Like this is a very good thing. Like take advantage of the opportunities you have. It's just 7 years down the line, like just make sure you're still opting into that path and you're not just on it because of a decision you made when you were 18.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, that's very true. Like, I would say that, I guess, right in me, I have a slight fear as well. Slight fear of wanting to, being able to stay in the UK, like long term, because there's just this ego thing within me that want to prove to like my Malaysian family, my Malaysian friend that yes, I'm able to make it in the UK. Yeah.
And that's fine, right? We all have these desires. It's just figuring out, does this desire lead me in a direction that actually makes my life better? Right? And you can rechannel that. Like I have a certain amount of competitiveness, but like I don't want to compete against people of like who has the most impressive career path. I want to see something somebody's written about work, and I want to see, I think that actually isn't very good. I want to compete by becoming a better writer myself, right? So yeah, it's perfectly normal to like want to prove yourself to the world.
But yeah, the main thing is basically like what you said. We're seeing like whether is this thing ultimately something that we actually want, whether we are comfortable with doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but something like I don't know, like because at least for now, I guess quite privileged to be able to come to the UK, experience a brand new culture is a cool thing for me, setting up a life right now here, it's cool. And then I do have this plan to just try out 20-year life. Like I thought of this, I think like last year or something, 20-year life. I was just thinking, if I do move to a brand new country, start over again every 20 years, I guess that would be quite a cool idea to try out, because I think 20 years is a lot of time for us to build something in a place, and you start to be a bit too comfortable with somewhere. Like I spent 20 years in Malaysia. You have your friends, everyone there. You people know you have done something great, and then it's easier for you to be successful. But if we do, we step out of our comfort zone, we start out somewhere new, I guess we can try it all over again. We can just see where this leads us. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Vareen?
Okay. No, I think my internet is a bit laggy. But when we say like stepping out from our comfort zone and all, sometimes a lot of people will just feel it's not easy for them to just leave everything and start everything over again because of all the uncertainty, and basically you just couldn't accept what will happen if maybe you used to be a very successful person, but you have to start from zero again, and this just makes you feel very bad.
Yeah, so I mean, the goal of life is not to avoid feeling bad. I will say though that like that is a story. You're telling a story of like, if you make a change in your life, you have to change everything. Everything will be uncomfortable, and you have to blow up your life. It's not true. You're allowed to test out different possible paths and lives, right? You can take a summer internship testing out a certain job and then decide not to pursue that, right? You don't need to decide to go all in. There are certain paths in life which force you to go all in for an extended period of time, like becoming a doctor or something, right? But like you were talking about listening to the Not Overthinking podcast, like he tested being an entrepreneur on the side for 10 years, right? Since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And like eventually decided to leave that path because another one was interesting. Now, his parents weren't happy about that, right? Just because he's successful on something else doesn't mean he gets to escape feeling uncomfortable, right? And it's like this for anyone. It's like I'm finding some success in my other path. And when I left my previous path, it was uncomfortable. It did feel bad. People judged me. People were mean to me. But I also experienced things on the positive side I didn't expect. I didn't expect how good it would feel to be creative again. I didn't expect how good it would feel to have more control over my life and time and not have a manager. So a lot of the positive sides of like making a change in life are hidden.
I really like talking to you. It's like quite therapeutic. It's like we're figuring out our life questions as well, and then we're just throwing it at you, and then yeah,
and that's the reality. Like it's gonna be okay. The key is like getting out. Like what I've realized is most people go through life with like these stories or scripts about how life is supposed to go. That's what your parents do when they say, "Don't you think you should do this? Don't you?" They're not actually saying what lights you up, Andrew or Vereen. What makes your like heart sing? They don't ask that. Don't you think you should do this? Don't you think this is risky? Don't you think this is bad? They're asking, "Hey, there's a story in my head about how life is supposed to go. Don't you think your decisions aren't aligning with the story in my head?" And then eventually we adopt those stories for ourselves. We say, I am this kind of person that does these kind of things and I'm supposed to live in this kind of way. And then we look at taking an alternative path and we say, well, that is too damn risky. And it's like you've lost the story. Like you've lost touch with yourself. We have this intuition like inside of us that tells us where we're supposed to be headed. And it very clearly tells us when we're on a path we're not supposed to be on.
all right, okay.
The key is just making sure you're continuing to listen to that. And you're not starting with like, well, I can't do this because I'm supposed to be doing this. It's like nobody's holding you accountable for that. You can do whatever you want in today's world. We have like more wealth, more opportunity, more freedom than ever. But we like to just pretend like we don't because it's too damn hard.
Very true. Yeah. I used to be a very, very traditional, I guess rational as well, that where I'll just tell my friends that, doing what society so-called weird is like actually weird, you're not supposed to do that. You are like you're supposed to like care about like going on a safer path. You're doing this. If you're doing this, you're being irresponsible and all that. Now that I think back, I feel like I'm such an ass saying that to my friends.
Yeah, because you realize like humans are very diverse. We all have all different desires, motivations, like issues we're dealing with. And it's like the last thing you want to do is like start reinforcing those norms and scripts on other people. I want to see people fired up, connected to the work they're doing, and inspired. Those are the people that are going to change the world. It's not the people that have convinced themselves that like impact on a spreadsheet is what changed the world. It's not. It's inspired, motivated, and connected humans.
But okay, I do have a question because like sometimes like what you're doing is that I believe you have a lot of conversations with different people. You try to help them, and then like have you ever encountered people where you try to help, but the main problem is that they are not willing to help themselves. to get out of this?
Say more. What do you mean?
Yeah. So some people are just in a very unfortunate situation where we would love to offer them help, to get out of maybe this norm or something, that like they themselves know that they can get out of it and get a better life, get out of this norm and get a better life. And that's why they want your help. Like they do talk to you and all that. You discuss with them, you offer them solution, but ultimately you find that they never, you offer them a lot of solutions, like many ways, but of course it still depends on the person to make the first step to do things. Otherwise nothing will change, right? Like, have you ever encountered people like this? And then like,
I don't want to change people. I also don't want to offer solutions. I want to give people a roadmap of like, hey, here's how I went, and like, here are the ways I thought about things. If that's useful for you, use it, remix it, make it your own, right? There's no correct one way to live life, including my life. It is not the correct way. It's not the right way. It's not the best way. There are probably better versions of my life I haven't unlocked and may never unlock. Like, I don't want to change people. I do want to talk to people that are already on some sort of path and want like more information, more ideas, more generation of like creative ways to approach their life. That's it. Like, I don't want to help people that don't want to be helped.
Okay. So you say that like mainly you just like, you would wait you would wait for people that just come to you instead of going to people. Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't proactively I don't proactively nudge or coach. I think I start with the assumption that people are living their ideal life.
Okay. So you'd be like people are living their ideal life. If they come to you, they are like they wish to live a better life.
Maybe, or maybe I don't know, right? It's so hard to know what other people are experiencing. All I know is like my story. If somebody says like, hey, I've jumped a bunch of different jobs and like I feel stuck, I can say like, I can relate to that. I've been through that experience. Here's how I approached it. Here's how I thought about this. Maybe it can help you. I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
But what about if someone, they just like to come to you and then complain about the same thing over and over again, but you actually offered them some solution or some help that you actually can give it to them, but they still never do anything but continue coming back to you and complain about the same thing?
Yeah, I try to avoid those people. I'm pretty direct and blunt too. If like somebody's continuing to complain about something, I'll just tell them. It's like, hey, I don't think you're ever going to do anything about this. Why don't you just like try to stop complaining about it?
Okay.
But like most people aren't like that. Most people, I'm not a great person to complain to. Right? But like if you have a bunch of friends complaining to you about their lives, like I would suggest getting better friends.
I like that. I don't know. I mean like of course there are a few people like this.
Yeah, I want to spend time around people who are like engaged and inspired.
I love that. That is what I'm seeking for as well. I mean, I just love to be around people who thinks that things can be done. You don't have to act like, not everything have to be completed, not everything has to be successful, but at least you need to have the thought that things can be done if you like you will actually go and do things. And like there's always this like, because like there are a few people around me that they happen to like complain a lot. They are slightly more negative on things, and I just felt that it's not right to leave them behind. Because like I mean they're still friends or something like that. But I mean I'm glad to just know you, and then like know that okay, yeah, you just be blunt, and then like okay, some people are just like I guess it's not the same vibe, and then like we just need to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, these questions like, what about X? What about this? It's like, it's all a game of like, gotcha. It's like, I want to help the people that want to be helped and like are dreaming about different possible paths for their life. This is the power of the internet. Our brains think we have to meet the mass market. We have to please the masses. Everyone thinks like if you start a podcast, if you start writing, what about these people? What about that people? Who the hell cares? Like you can find like 1 million people with your weird specific interest on the internet. Right? You don't have to meet the middle of the road consumer. You can have a very narrow, weird niche. You can have like 10,000 people that are like interested in what you're interested in. And that's enough. You don't have to be like the BBC running programs to like meet the whole country, right?
That is very true. I like that.
Like I don't want my book to be read by somebody who is like working in a corporate job at the same company their whole life and likes their life. Not for that person. I am so happy for that person that has their shit figured out and like their interests and desires align with the way the world is structured. No interest.
Okay.
Those aren't my people. So it's like you got to figure out who your people are and then find them.
That is very cool. But yes, like so I believe one of your ways, because like you operate various different social like all this like your blogs and podcasts and all this. So that's one of your ways into interacting with the world, finding like-minded people. But like because I knew that you travel to different countries, you meet different people. Like when you're in a new country, when you're in a new community, like how do you just meet people or meet new people?
The internet mostly. Yeah, so I write and I send out like bat signals to the world. People respond and they want to connect. That's pretty much it. Yeah, writing online is one of the most powerful things you can do in the world.
Okay. No, because I was like thinking like, do you just like go to like a random community shop and then like sit down and like just chat to other people?
No, I usually find people who are already interested in the same things I am through my writing. Very high signal.
Okay, that is cool. I guess we should do more of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're just stuck in still an early stage where even though we are starting to putting ourselves out there, we still feel weird when we are like just asking, because like there's this feeling that like I guess this fear of judgment, like if you just put it out there, ask like right now we're in London, anyone wanna hang out, like tomorrow right now, we are open to that. I guess we're still not at that stage where we feel like it's okay that we I guess the primary thought that comes into our mind would be like like who do you think you are, Andrew? Like you think you're famous or something? Like why are you popping this up right there on the internet? Like why are you just asking people to come here? Like yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay. Yes, we should really do that. And it's glad to know that like I guess many things are just very normal, just that we are the one that limits ourselves into thinking that it is abnormal, it is weird, and we just probably shouldn't do it.
Perhaps we judge ourselves too much.
But yes, like I guess it was amazing. It was amazing talking to you, Paul. So like one of the like I just like, because since we have an audience here, like would you like to share to the audience like what would be the best way to get to know you, or do you prefer for them to just encounter you on their own, because like that would be like the best way to find right like the right mind people.
No, I mean, if they like this conversation, they'd probably like some of my writing and work. My newsletter is boundless.substack.com or Paul Millard. Just Google that and you'll find me. But yeah, it was a pleasure talking with you. I think curious young people who at the start of their careers who are thinking more deeply are amazing. You guys are my people. So just keep dreaming big, and like never convince yourself that like you have to settle for like just.
I guess that's something we still have to work hard to get out of this comfort zone, and we're walking out of it. We're on the way walking
You're
out
already
of it.
doing it. Doing a podcast is such a brave thing. It's amazing.
Thank you. I really like that. I really like I consider that like a really good compliment, because yeah, I mean, like, I guess one of the greatest thing which I realized, one of the greatest fear when we're starting out, is that what would people think of us? But we realized that when we actually started, because the main thing we fear about is all those negative comments, people saying that, why are you doing this? Like, you're weird. Of course, there are some of that, but most of the people who doesn't care about us, they just don't care about us. They won't even care about saying all this negative stuff. They'll just come in and like, they just won't care at all. And people who come in and listen are those that actually care about us. They support us, and they'll actually give constructive comments on how to improve on all this. There's even one guy which like listens, and then he actually suggested us to put videos and all that. Like, those are like cool stuff, and like, I guess that's one of the greatest gain I realized, putting yourself out there, like, is that most of the time it's you gain something positively.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, just keep going. And if people are telling you you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, like, run away from those people.
That's something I learned from you as well. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sorry a few of my friends which constantly complain.
Find your people.
Yeah, then based on what you say, I think I'm quite lucky that I actually have a group of friends that are very supportive towards whatever
Amazing.
I do. Yeah.
That's awesome. Stick with those
Vereen
people.
is a very, I don't know, like, I guess, but I guess that she's just too much of a good listener, that she gets so many friends, and then like so many people just surrounds her. So yeah, of course there's good and bad people, but mostly like, they're usually good. So like just mostly good outweigh the bad. But yeah, like I just want to ask one final question. Like, it's just kind of for my sister. Yeah, so because I have one younger sister, and she's like 8 years younger than me. Like, so we have quite a huge gap. Yeah. So I know that it's not right to just sometimes sharing my stuff is cool, but then like it might force her to try to think my way, because like because of the age difference, the way we are thinking is different, and then I might be thinking a bit too realistic in certain ways. We care about like how to live life or something like that, and that made her, or maybe it's just a girl's thing, because like Vereen did say that when she's younger, they do care about like what university should I study, like but me, I actually just figure out my university like 3 months before actually starting it. So like what we currently, she's actually worrying about what course should I study, even though she's just 14. What course should I study? What university should I get in? Like, what would the one piece of advice that you give her?
Yeah, I think that's the game that like the world tells us is the most important game at that age. But unfortunately, like, life never ends. Like, we're always figuring out which university to enter next, what career to enter next, what phase of life to shift into. Like, I don't think it ever ends, right? And I think the key thing to figure out is like not which course to study, but like what do I actually like doing? That's it. Just pay attention to that. If you keep following through that throughout your life, like, you'll probably end up somewhere good.
I like that. I like that. I will make sure that she listens to this. I mean, like, it's just like, yeah, I guess, I mean, I've been through that as well. And I'll say I do agree that sometimes it's a bit hard because, like, you're surrounded by friends which are thinking the same way. It's hard to get out of that. You want to do that, but I guess, yeah, I'll just hope that she'll find her way.
Yeah.
And yeah, try. Like I at this point I do find that, you know, cause like I've done many things. I'm not a particular skilled computer science student. I'm not like particularly good in any direction. I'm not very good at programming. I'm just like, I guess I'm average in every situation. I'm average in content creation, average in a bit of marketing, because from starting my company, and then I'm a bit average on computer science as well. And yes, so when I was job hunting, I realized that I don't have that. There's no role that's suitable for me. But luckily, I just happened to encounter this role that fits in really well in Meta. That, like, it's something new. Of course, it would be better if I could have just, like, you know, built my own career. But I'm just lucky that, you know, there's someone that fits me, and then the benefits are quite great. And all this actually came from all the work that I've done, just because I like doing it, because I started my company because I find that that's a cool thing, it's fun. And then I work on content creation because, you know, that's cool, that's fun. Computer science is probably the one that I the one that I least liked. But yeah, you know, and ended up working out a bit for me. So I guess, like, at this point in life, after dabbling, like, 12 years. Is it 12 years? No, 12 years is just until secondary. 15 years of studying. I realized that going back to the simplest thing, like going for what you like, might be the most important thing in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
Vereen, so are you still going for your clinical psychology PhD?
Well, I mean, because through my previous job, I work with refugees on their mental health, and I found that actually I enjoy doing all those, like, talking and all with my patients and all. So I guess as of now, I'll still go for it. At least I know that.
Is that like you experimented a bit.
Yeah. And that's the main reason that I decided not to start my postgraduate study right away after I graduated from my degree. Yeah, because I really want to make sure that that is something that I want to do instead of just something that I have been imagining all this while.
That's great. I mean, you don't have to have it figured out either. We just think we have to have everything figured out by 22, but we really don't.
Yeah. One thing that the society pressures us into thinking that you are old when you're 22 and then you're not getting a job, and that is absolutely wrong. You're just 22. Actually, like, 22 is so young. It's like, yeah, it's like, especially now that our medical field is, like, progressing so well, probably the our lifespan will grow longer, and then it's like, it's barely a quarter of our life.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll see.
I believe everything will go well. We just do it and see how it goes. But yes, so that's this one thing that we do on our every single podcast towards the end. So we ask if everyone, if there's any insights that you'd like to share, anything, or like just any fun thing that you'd like to share to the audience.
I think the thing is just
things that you find that's interesting, that's worth sharing.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, the skill of, like, figuring out how to reinvent yourself and carve a life in today's world is an underappreciated, like, meta skill. We think we need to learn how to code or, like, get a job, and that is, like, helpful to some degree, but it's not going to help you when you start having these deeper questions as you get older. So yeah, just think about like a meta skill of like how to navigate life is something actually worth developing in and of itself.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
I
it
think
was
for me,
great talking with you today.
yeah. Thanks. Well, I mean, I would say that like, cause, having you on the pod, even though I'm not sure how you feel, but for us, it's quite a big thing. You know, it's quite a big thing where we're stepping out.
I'm just another guy. But yeah,
yeah, you're just another guy. But
I'm your first guest.
Not really. Okay, so we have
Nice.
3 episodes with guests before you, but previously they're mainly just friends. So they're mainly just friends.
Oh,
We
nice.
never just went out randomly approached someone do you want to come onto our pod? And you're just like trying to get to know you, know what you do, something like that. So
Well,
you're
now
now
you
you
know.
to do so.
You can just talk to people. Yeah. You can reach out to people.
Yeah, exactly. These are actually normal stuff. One thing when you think about it, it's weird. Like when you're young, you would just go to people, and then just talk to them, and then can we be friends? But right now, when we go to secondary school, we go to high school, we go to college, we don't do that. We think it's weird, but it's absolutely normal. Look at kids just doing that. It's very normal.
I love
Just
that.
I guess as we grow, we get more societal standards, some kind of structure that we follow, that we forget that many things can be done. Many things are not weird.
I love it. Yeah, you can just do stuff. It's amazing.
And I'm just glad that we did this, and then it was a great conversation talking to you. Great to know you, and yes, hope you are having a great time in Lisbon.
Thank you.
It's actually quite close, just across, just across the sea, from the UK. Yeah. So yes, that'll be it for this podcast. So thanks Aaron for listening, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Sounds good. I will let it upload and do its thing.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.